Yo, 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 what the hell is going on, everybody? It's your boy Monkey, aka Ryan. I sure hope you little goo-boos are out there having a good day. I don't know what you're doing, where you are, but I hope you're doing something worth doing, you know? So maybe if, well, like me sitting on my ass recording this video, I'll have you know, folks, you might not care, but I'm trying to perfect this video, so I'm just going to go off of my notes. I've got some notes here for today's story time. Today's story time is a bit of a weird story. I have some notes on my computer. You might hear me typing right now. Excuse me. I was recently in jail just a few days ago for smoking. Thanks, PD of my town. Excuse me. But we'll get right into it as I look at my script, and hopefully we can get things rolling. So it all started when I got off of work for my job. I was a delivery driver. Excuse me. And I had puffed on some CBD as well as some very small amount of THCA. And I had some in my chillum, I had some in my pipe, and I had just bought new papers, and I had just bought new filter tips. I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with it, but those raw papers, I didn't mean to buy the raw 500s, and I bought the little filter tips that you had to roll, and I was like, let's just make it a little bit easier. So I bought the pre-rolled ones and bought like this little black pouch of rolling papers. But anyways, I had a little bit of a puff before going home, sat there, had a little bit of a nap, sobered up, drove home, and about 15 minutes from my house, just across the way I got pulled over right by I believe this is Jimmy John's. Excuse me. I was originally, originally? Excuse me, I was originally pulled over for speeding. I was doing like 60 and a 40 or something like that. And as the dude, as the officer was speaking with me, obviously, of course, he got a whiff of I'm doing the finger quotations, quote unquote, marijuana, which the CBD that I smoke and the CBG that I smoke, and as well as the CBN and the other CBs out there as well. They smell eerily similar to that of regular, actual THC marijuana. So he pulled me over, started looking at my car. He's like, your eyes are looking a bit hazy. He's like, your eyes are looking a bit weird. Are you sure you haven't taken any drugs? You had any alcohol? I was like, I don't drink alcohol. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not saying that if you drink, you're an alcoholic, but, excuse me, no. He told me to step out of the car, and it was fucking cold. It's cold outside. Probably like 20, 30 degrees. And he had me go through a sobriety test. He had me do like heel toe, had me do arms by your side, hold foot out, count, whatever. And then he had me do like follow the finger, and when he was doing follow the finger, my eyes kept like geeking out and twitching out, and I kept like stopping and just closing my eyes, and I'd rub my eyes because it's fucking cold. And he ended up putting me in. But what's funny about that is originally it was one cop who pulled me over. And then, you know how police are. I'm not sure if they're like this in other countries, or countries, I say that, in other states. That's how it is, I understand. Like, these guys and gals have a difficult job, you know. You never know what anyone's up to. I could have had like a knife or a gun or a bomb or something, but I didn't. I just had, excuse me for my stutter, CBD and THCA. That one cop turned to 2 cops turned to 3, and 3 cops turned to 3 cops plus a state trooper. And what I witnessed as the gentleman turned me around and put me in the handcuffs, he put me in the car, read me my Miranda rights, or whatever the fuck they're called, State trooper walks over to the one officer, and the officer unrolled the bag and showed my phone, and then unrolled the other bag and showed my rolling tray and the pipe and the papers and the filters. They forgot my chillum in the car. I'm not sure if that was purposeful. I got rid of that just so I'm tempted to not smoke. I don't have anything. But I got rid of that chillum. Excuse me. That's funny that I found that, though. I'm surprised they didn't, like, see that or whatever, but I guess that might have been a hiccup on their part. Which is kind of funny if it is a hiccup on their part, considering I just said there were 3 or 4 cops plus a state trooper. Excuse me, plus a state trooper. That's what pissed me off. I got booked in, and excuse me if I already repeated myself, if I said it already. Hit with a DUI as well as possession of licouche. You know, c'est mota, la mota, pendejo. Yikes, went in there, started doing all the questioning, and they're asking me if I'm, if I got any mental health problems, or am I asthmatic, or schizophrenic, or bipolar, or when have I eaten, or this or that, and I mean, obviously jail is not a... Jail is not a 5-star luxury hotel in any way, shape, or form. But what confuses me is why after I pissed and tried to flush, I didn't flush, and I couldn't wash my hands. There was like roaches and like spiders. I mean, again, it's probably like lowest of the low. It's obviously supposed to be like that. I'm obviously also not trying to act like some entitled little prick and get what I want when I'm in jail. Or maybe I am, I just don't want to admit it. But there was one young gal behind the counter. She was asking me questions. I looked up, and I was talking to her. I was looking down. I was talking to her because I was looking at a paper. She was talking to me through the glass. The top part of the glass was covered, and there was like a little bottom part that was open. And I kind of ducked down and stuck my head in there. I was speaking with her, and she could kind of tell that I was getting teary-eyed, and there was another young lady in there who started laughing at me. Oh my God. The one young lady started to laugh at me. After all my paperwork was done, I slid over to the next window, and this gentleman stuck a black tube with a little piece of glass through the little window and told me to blow. Dude said I refused. I was like, hey man, I was like, your machine's making me like really lightheaded. I was like, I'm not liking it. I'm lightheaded. I don't feel right. It's making my chest vibrate. It's making me feel lightheaded. It's making me feel like I'm gonna pass out. I was like, I'm gonna pull it off. I was like, let's try this again. And I told him, he's like, you need to blow or you're gonna be hit with a refusal. I was like, dude, he's like, you need to blow in the machine for like a minute and a half or a minute or 2 minutes or something. And I'm not sure if that's normal, but as he's holding one hand with the hose to my mouth, the other finger was on like the black box that he had, and he was just like pushing this button. He was just pushing the screen or pushing this button over and 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 over again. And then I told him, I was like, and then I kind of stammered, like stumbled, and I was like, dude, this is making me lightheaded. I'm unable to do this, and I was like, and I refuse your piss test. I was like, I'm not taking a test. I was like, I'm not taking a piss test. And then he, excuse me, stutter again, damn, having a hard time talking. He pulled it out of my mouth. He's like, hop. He waved his hand. He's like, hop. Get him, man. He refused. He was like, he just did X, Y, Z. That's an automatic refusal. I was like, what? And then I started getting mouthy with the officer. And then I was told to wait in the corner, and the dude walked over and he dropped a bright lime green suit at my feet, as well as some fucking jank ass little newspaper filled fucking shit bag, something or other, and gave me like 2 thin ass like paper thin sheets and some thin ass paper blanket. And he said, grab your stuff and follow me. And I was like, wow. And I mean, I'm sure these guys and gals might have to make their job funny, but like, why the fuck are you laughing? Why the fuck are you laughing at people getting arrested? Is that like normal? Is that a normal thing? Is it normal to laugh at people getting arrested? Then again, I'm not a police officer or anything like that, so I'm not sure how that works, but yes, but might just be basic talk of me repeating myself, excuse me. So as I'm in the little visitation area, the door, because I slept in the corner, there was a door behind my head that had like a little office, was like a little window, it was like a little visitation window. And then about 10 feet away was another door. And then there was like the wall on the right was all brick and the wall on the left was glass you could see through, and then you could sort of see through the door, and then there was that slit in the door with the unlock and hand your shit through. I finally had it up. I built up the courage to speak with my cellmate or whatever you call it after I heard a very odd noise. I was like, woke up in the middle of the night. I was like, is somebody taking a piss? Or early morning, it was early morning, excuse me. And I was like, is somebody taking a piss? No, excuse me. It was at night, because I got put in there and a dude just like stood up and like dropped his johns, dude, and he just started pissing in the bag. I hear like the urination sound. He's pissing in the bag. Hey, they didn't let him go to the bathroom when he needed to, so he just like started pissing in cups and leaving it on the floor. Yo, I feel so fucking bad for this guy. Obviously not trying to like kiss ass or everything, but this gentleman, we're going to call him Bob for story's sake, because I never got his name. We're just going to call him Bob. Bob here. This gentleman was a 76-year-old Vietnam veteran, and they were consistent. Excuse me, I can't talk today. Fuck. They were constantly, even with reading my notes, I can't talk. They were constantly denying him, and what really broke my heart is when he needed to get up to use the bathroom, he took like a long time. You know, when you're an elderly and in the war, it really does take a toll on your body. Like, it really fucks you up. It's bad. Obviously, you might be like, how the hell would you know? I'm not military, but I do speak with a lot of military individuals, all branches. Just the fact that they were kind of mouthing off to him was just kind of sad. And him and I started talking. I was like, oh, what are you in here for? He's like, oh, I'm in here for DUI also. He's like, what were you, DUI drinking or smoking? I was like, oh, smoking. Oh, excuse me. So he's out there and we're talking. He's telling me a bit of his story. I'm telling him a bit of my story. He's like, yeah, they want it this way. He's like, they want us in here. He's like, they're making money. He's like, and then I mentioned to the gentleman that they were laughing. I mentioned that they were laughing at us, or at me at least. They were laughing at him, and they were also giving shit to the Hispanic dude who kept talking. He kept speaking to them in Spanish, and they just kind of shoot him off. And I was like, damn, this place really is fucked. Then again, like I said in the beginning of the video, I'll say it again, so excuse me for repeating myself. It's obviously not going to be some 5-star hotel where I get a blowjob and get my feet rubbed and get to play 2K. But like, why the fuck is your toilet stopped up? Why is there no toilet paper? Why isn't your sink work? Like, where's the fucking soap? Like, have like at least like a little bit of decency and like a little bit of like compassion or whatever the fucking word. I don't even know what word I'm looking for some reason. Have like a little bit of empathy towards like the individuals that are in here. But yeah, I feel like this might have been like just very vague. I just tried to touch on this quite quickly. I only have 7 points down, and I believe I already got through it. It talked about me getting pulled over. He noticed my eyes were a little bit hazy. Two other cars showed up. And then a third car showed up, as well as a state trooper. I failed the test and got charged with DUI of Le Couche. The guards laughed at me when I was tearing up at the window. And number 7 is speak with cellmate. So moral of the story is your boy at the moment is unable to drive and operate a vehicle. This might be too much, but I've noticed these videos are sort of like a little diary for me. And it's funny, as soon as I got out, as soon as I got out, there's not much to it. It was just, I went and spoke with the judge as well. I went and spoke with the judge. He read me my rights. I don't even remember all of what he told me. I do have all the paperwork. He gave me my paper. He gave me like this little money card. He's like, oh, your money's on here. Excuse me. And then I walked out the door, and immediately, I'm going to put it in. I'm currently in the process of trying to look online to find a picture of my mugshot. I just might blur a bit of my face out. I will also try to find the picture of me flipping off the jail when I left. I was so mad. I was talking so much shit when I left that place. I'm glad I was talking shit when I left as opposed to when I was in there, because I'd have fucked myself over and had to stay in there longer. I got hit with 3 things, and it was definitely just like an eye-opening experience. And may or may not be moving soon to where it's legal. Why it's illegal here, I'm not sure. It's probably just because they can jerk off and make money from people who do smoke, those who actually smoke marijuana, and those who are smoking what I'm smoking, CBD as well as a THCA or CBG. To me, I think that's absolutely and utterly pathetic to be treating any individual like that, regardless of what they've done. You need to have some sort of well, I'm not saying treat. I guess back out on that. Take back what I said. Take that all back. Excuse me. Learn from your mistakes. This is kind of like me laughing at myself type video, because all this time I was talking shit about people who had this stuff. I'm the one who's got it now. But this is just a one take. This is also a one take. So I definitely hope I covered the video. I definitely did cover most of it. Not a lot all is going on besides me trying to expunge everything off of my record. I'm in the process of doing everything. I don't really care to get too much into all of the legal things and who I've spoke with and how much I'm paying. But yeah, guys. Hopefully you did learn something from this video. Obviously, don't smoke in states where you're apparently, quote unquote, it's illegal, although it clearly states on the package that it complies with the state farm bill and that it's legal within the state. I'm not sure what they did with the other package, because I had another package in my car that was a CBD and CBG flower, and that literally said on there that was legal to smoke inside the state. It's CBD. Are you fucking kidding me? But yeah, everybody, that is the kind of sort of half-assed story time of me and my first time in jail. Like I say again, I'll say one more time, excuse me for repeating myself. I'm going to do my best to find my mugshot. I'm looking for that, but if I can, more than likely, most definitely, I'll throw in a picture at some point of me flipping off the jail, because oh my god, it's just a learning curve. I've definitely learned. I'm definitely glad. It was definitely an eye-opening experience for me, and I never want to go back to jail again. And shout out to that little cricket and those 2 spiders that were in the corner keeping me company as I cried myself to fucking sleep and shivered. I'm also confused on why they let me keep my socks on. My socks were white. They let me keep my socks on, but apparently the cellmate that I had, he had to give his socks up because his socks were colored. He said the socks were all black. They made him take his socks. I don't know how I forgot to mention that. There's a lot of there's some details that just I need to leave out because it's just not really all that exciting. But for the most part, I do believe I covered it all if I have not repeated myself 2, 3, 4 times. If you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate you watching, and I wish you nothing but the best, and I sure hope that you've learned from my stupidity, as I have more videos of me doing dumb things, that way you don't have to. But again, like I just said, if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you watching. Feel free to let me know down below in the comments if you've ever been to the pen, if you've ever been to the slammer. And I'll catch you guys later. I'm a little inconsistent with these videos, but for me, perfection isn't really a thing, so see you later. More posting, less perfection.